It's the Brad and John Show.
It is the Brad and John Show. Today's date is the 3rd of March. It happens to be a Tuesday. And what do we say about Tuesdays, John?
So happy it's Tuesday.
John, I have to apologize to you about something.
Oh, yeah, I can tell from your tone you're serious.
I am very serious. Over the weekend, I had a major issue with John. And you know what? Like, John and I are sort of married. Well, not that kind of way, but we're sort of married. And I remember years ago listening to Charlton Heston on KMOX when Charlie Brennan said to him, Mr. Heston, you've been married for over 50 years. What do you attribute a successful marriage in Hollywood, of all places, to over 50 years? And Charlton says, Charlie, 3 words. Honey, you're right. So I'm not going to call you honey, but John, you're right.
And what am I right about this time, allegedly?
I did a horrible thing when I didn't understand farm, F-A-R-M.
And you didn't do a horrible thing, Brad. It's just an attention to detail. It's not horrible.
Well, John, I don't want to sound like I'm being a jerk about this, but for a long time, I hear you laughing. Why are you laughing?
Yeah, no, this will be good. Yeah. Any mea culpa from Brad is always followed by a punchline. Go ahead.
For a long time, you have misrepresented my name.
Oh, yeah? How's that, Brad?
Because you don't put it in all caps.
Oh, yeah. And you're actually B-Rad, I see.
No. Well, I don't know what you're talking about. What's B-Rad?
Yeah, Brad, for those who don't know, if you go to bjshow.co, Brad does a fun, it's one of the areas of effort that Brad puts in at the beginning. I have to go in and do all the work later, but we'll do like a wacky intro to our show at bjshow.co. And yesterday you identified yourself as B-Rad. Brad, you spent some time yesterday thinking of acronyms for what Brad stands for. Deliver the punchline for us.
No, John, I don't know what you're talking about. B-Rad, I'm looking at it right now. It's all caps.
And what does it stand for, Brad? What's the acronym? That's what you're going for here.
Big radio announcer dip. Doot.
Oh, there we go, Brad. And that is not true, Brad. You are an expert and you execute well on several things. Attention to detail is not one of your strengths, but after 50 plus years, why would you ever change? Like, you're content. We talked in A block. You lack, well, anyway. But Brad, you don't have the greatest attention to detail, but you excel in so many other areas. And yesterday was a hard day. I had feedback from many people. Some of them told me that their favorite part of the show is when I berate you and belittle you. which was my favorite text that I got from, I won't say who, again, I can't say who it is because you would freak out because you know this person's name, but they love when I belittle and berate you. But often I get off the air after having to take you to the woodshed and I have pangs of guilt about Brad's in the sunset of his life, not to mention his career. And I should just be grateful for the fact that I have this platform. And so I do want to thank you for that, Brad. My expectations for you are consistently way too high. I've worked with a number of competent professionals over the years, and so I have unrealistic expectations of you. But you're great at so many things, which if I had a lot of time to think about, I could probably list them. And I'm just grateful that I have the opportunity to use your airwaves, Brad.
John, was that Shelley or to somebody else?
It was definitely not Shelley Barr.
Well, she sent you something, too. I saw that in the group chat.
I did. It was great. Yeah, it was pretty good. Shelley appropriately pointed out that I was being a little premenstrual in A block yesterday, but it makes for good radio for sure. Anyway, B-Rad.
No, John, it's not B-Rad. John,
it's definitely not radio advertising, dude. We know that.
Look on the website right now. It's not B-Rad. And see, once again, John is misrepresenting. It's Brad, all capitalized. It's Brad, all capitalized.
It's good, Brad. It's not one of your.
It's not B-Rad. Where'd you come up with B-Rad?
I know. Where did I ever think of that? Did you go in this morning, like hours ago, and change that?
What are you talking about?
There you go. Yes, you did, Brad. It is funny, and I love the fact that of the rare areas that you choose to put an effort to our show. It's on bjshow.co, which is arguably the least important part of our show. But I do like the fact that you put effort. Brad, when you do the date today, will you get it right today? I mean, I usually have to go in and fix the date, too. You usually get the day wrong. Brad, did you post all 3 segments accurately yesterday after the show?
I did, and you made a mistake on one of them. John,
That's so funny.
John, can I give you an analogy?
Please do.
I can't remember the artist, okay? But there's a story, and somebody will if somebody is in my generation and they know rock and roll and stuff like that, they'll know this story. The story was there was a matter of fact, it's interesting because there's two different stories I've heard. One of them involves Steely Dan, and the other involved, I can't remember the artist's name. But
it's probably irrelevant, so get to the point.
In the old days when they recorded albums and things like that, they did it on tape, reel to reel, and in the multi-track era they used 2-inch tape on a 24-track recorder. Okay,
important detail, really relevant. Go ahead.
No, it is, because the artist would go in and lay down track at a time. They'd lay down the drum track, then they'd lay down the guitar track and the vocal tracks and overdubs and stuff like that. Okay, and there was this one artist who was so picky about everything on his thing. He kept going back and overdubbing this. And no, I don't like the way that sounds.
And what did someone teach him? And they said, here's the quote.
No. What happened was the tape was rewound and recorded on so many times, it wore out. And
what a metaphor.
And all this guy's effort was gone because of the fact that he rewound the tape so many times and overdubbed so many tracks and redid this and redid that the tape physically became destroyed and they could not use it, and he had to start over again. John, see what I'm saying there, John?
That sounds like a feature of physical media. And so the lesson of that is when you post something to the internet, do it really low quality and just move on, right?
Have you ever told the Ron Jacober story, John?
Yeah, you have. I know it's surprising that you would beat something to death over and over again. Brad, you do a great job keeping the station on the air with baling wire, halfway workable eBay equipment, and me. So you do a great job working with those things, Brad. And I should praise you more often. Although you can't take a compliment, I will still, on behalf of listeners, thank you for what you do.
John. Okay, changing topics. Okay, stuff that's going on in St. Charles County. We haven't heard, it's been sort of quiet with the county executive race. And I would assume that, and I don't know if you looked at this or not, I should have looked at this, but did we have more than the big three, Jason Law, Bill Eigel, and Steve Ehlmann? Was there more than those three who essentially signed up to run for county executive? Was Arnie on the ticket already or yet?
I don't think so. And the day afterward, I mentioned that I had looked on the St. Charles County website, and as of that day, so that was a week ago now, more than, I guess, a week and a day ago, there hadn't been the Board of Elections had not posted an ongoing updated candidate list. That's not to say it's not there now. But even if someone enters, Brad, it would be no relevant candidate would be entered. I mean, it's these three main candidates.
John, they're not going to post it. I'm going to have to go out there and get a sunshine law request to get the stuff from, what's his name again?
Probably. And so you're surprised that we haven't heard more noise coming from those three candidates.
It's been sort of quiet. There hasn't been much going on with that. I mean,
and just because you don't hear things doesn't mean nothing's happening. And Brad, what is the significance of March in the August primary election?
What's significant of March?
Yeah, why is this month significant?
Well, because of the fact that they should be out flexing their muscles.
No, absolutely not. Here's what's significant about it. That's the wrong answer. It's the last month of the fundraising quarter. So if you're working for Jason or Bill or Steve, you don't care about placating the masses and the biggie bag bird brains who want some action and want to read headlines and social media posts. You're talking to the people who actually matter, which equal donors, and you're spending as much time as possible in call time on the phone with donors, shaking the money tree so that by March 31st, you have more money than your opponents.
Isn't it tomorrow night, the big goings on out at Ladue? Remember we talked about that a couple weeks ago?
You're the one that was invited to it, not me, Brad.
Yeah, I was invited.
You got the end. I love the fact, I hope you don't mind that I say this, but I love the fact that you responded something meaningless to the invite, and the person who's clearly a business person and who is competent is like, okay, idiot, are you coming or not?
What did I respond? I didn't respond.
Yeah, you did.
No, I didn't.
Brad, you forwarded me your response to the woman. You said, looks great. And she goes, will you be there? Did you really not read the email that you forwarded to me?
Oh, I know. I forwarded it to you because you wanted it. You wanted it because here's the thing. John called me up and said, Brad, I feel really left out. It's the Brad and John show. Why did you get an invite to this big Ladue shindig and I didn't? And
I know my feelings were really hurt. Oh, you're right. It is March 4th because we discussed what else I have going on that day. Yeah, Brad. I won't say her name because I'm not sure if she's comfortable having it out there. But the woman responded to you after you said thanks. She says, "Hi, Brad. Are you planning to join us for the event?"
John,
like, why would you respond to something that with no? I don't know. I see. Again, this is my expectations being too high, and I'm looking at it from her perspective. Does thanks mean I'll be there? Does thanks mean I'll be a platinum sponsor? Or does thanks mean I just use AI for everything and send emails and be on my way?
No. This is the difference between John and I. Okay. I have tried to become a very courteous person on the internet, especially with emails. And when people send me things, normally, like if I send emails to people, they don't respond. Okay. And I feel so much better when somebody responds to my email. So this lady sent me an email. She invited me, and I told her thanks. And I was being kind. Thanks for the invite.
That's your right to do, Brad. Right. I'm not criticizing that at all. But you could have provided it. Like thanks doesn't tell her anything. You could say thanks, I won't be able to make it, or thanks, I look forward to seeing you at the $250 level.
Well, there wasn't a $250 level.
Okay, I look forward to seing you at the $1,000.
There was a $1,000 level.
And Brad, you have a right to respond to anyone the way you want. I just think it's now. Here's a question that I already know the answer to. When she asked you a direct question like, "Will you be joining us?" You didn't have the courtesy to answer a substantive question, right? You never responded to her.
I did respond to her.
Oh, you did? Because a minute ago you didn't remember having an email exchange.
No. I don't remember going back and forth, but I did respond to her thing, and I said, no, I'm busy that night.
Oh, wow. Okay, that's surprising, Brad. Way to go.
Well, and because of the fact that first off, I have to tell you, what's good for the goose is good for the gander. I think I sort of criticized, well, I didn't sort of, I did criticize Jason Law because for a time, all his money was coming out of St. Louis County. And now we've got Steve Ehlmann, who's crossing the river to, put out his hand for lots of money from St. Louis County people in Ladue.
Yeah, which is because he's a competent professional. He knows that the race isn't just going to be won with St. Charles County money. So he's doing what a competent professional would do. You're right, Brad.
So, okay, I won't go any further than that. And tomorrow night, here's what I'm going to do is that what you're laughing already.
Can you contribute a biggie bag, Brad, to the cost?
The reason I told her I was busy that night, I'm working for the valet company. That's what I'm doing. So.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah.
That's good. So you will be there, and maybe you can hear Steve's speech.
Right, and I'll be parking cars in the parking lot. So.
And you're actually bringing a giant shipping container from Illinois, and people will get a little key, and then they know they're going to be safe.
It's going to be. I'm being sponsored by the upcoming Cardinals car vault. John, you got to admit that's a good idea, don't you think?
It's a great idea, Brad. And someday there will be a stadium that does some sort of idea like that. And if it's any time after 2027, well, you'll be long gone. But we'll make sure to commemorate it and call it the Brad Hildebrand Memorial Carport.
Well, John Hewlett, formerly of KSHE, who is a great guy, does all the Cardinals commercial. And I've got one right now. Did you hear the one John Hewlett just did?
No, I didn't hear it.
Hi, this is John Hewlett for the Cardinals. Yeah, we know why you're not coming to the games. You don't want to get your car broken into or stolen or stuff like that. That's why we've got the new Cardinals Car Vault. Yes, you heard right. Your own personalized Corten steel with a lock on it box where you drive your car in and you just we flip you the lock and you put it on and you keep the key. And then an armed guard carrying an MP5 and a Smith & Wesson MP9 will walk you into the stadium and stand by your seat all night long. And after the game's over, we'll have a group of Cardinals people who are armed with guns and Kevlar underwear, and they will take you back out to your car. And not only that, they'll escort you out to the city limits in a St. Louis City police car to make sure you make it back to the safety of St. Louis County, St. Charles County, Franklin County, Warren County. It's the Cardinals all-inclusive car vault program. Didn't you like that commercial, John?
I love it. And my attention was divided because I was going back and making sure we put the name Brad in all caps.
It's all caps. All caps. It's remember what it stands for, John?
Big radio. What is it?
Announcer dip.
Brad, I will see you on Hump Day.